This week, I want to take you to Astoria Park in Queens. Another park, however, there are a few interesting things I would like to mention here. At the same time, I wanted to make a little bit of a shorter video for this week because, well, a new spring semester is beginning for me in college, therefore I need a little bit more time to prepare for the new group of students I will be teaching. In addition, I wanted to give myself a little bit more time as well to make more videos. In the summer, I took 2 research trips, one here in America and the other one in Europe. And I have some footage, so I figured I will make a video and share it on this channel. Therefore soon, I will be posting more videos other than just on Sundays. So let's talk about the park. It was named Astoria Park in 1913 after the neighborhood it is located in, which is, well, Astoria. There are lots of recreational activities, for instance, tennis courts, soccer field, track, exercise station, and even a skate park, all located next to the RFK Bridge, and a parking lot that the park has. It's a place that is even alive at night. But check out this photo. Do you see it up there in the sky? I think I have actually caught a UFO when I was taking this picture. Nah, just kidding. It's a reflection from one of these lights right here. You can even see it on this photo as well. But imagine I went along with it and the caption and the title of the video. I know somebody would catch on eventually, but the damage would be done and probably be enough for this channel to go viral and big. But once I show you more of upstate New York, maybe we'll come across Bigfoot or something like that. But the really cool thing about this park is that you can walk along the river, the East River, and walk right below the RFK Bridge and the Hell's Gate Bridge. Pretty dramatic name, right? Originally, this bridge was called the Triborough Bridge, and then in 2008, it was renamed Robert F. Kennedy Bridge, or the RFK Bridge. The reason it was named Triborough Bridge was because it connects 3 boroughs together, as you see here, Queens, Manhattan, and the Bronx. And the Triborough Bridge is really not just this one bridge that you see here, but rather a whole system of 3 bridges and connections going through the Randalls and Wards Islands, connecting the 3 boroughs together. It was a massive project for its time, but it began at the end of 1929, roughly at the same time as the Great Depression in the United States. Therefore, right from the beginning, the project had financial issues. So much so that few months later, the project came to a stop. In 1933, there were design changes, which cut the construction costs, and the project began again, opening the bridge in 1936. In 2008, it was renamed the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge on the 40th anniversary of his death, as Robert Kennedy, who at that time was a New York senator, was assassinated in 1968, just 5 years after his brother, John F. Kennedy, the President of the United States, was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. Along the way, we passed this little free library, which I think is a fantastic idea. This blue box is a free book sharing box, which anyone can use. You can take a book to read and place your own books for others. A cool idea. We also have the Long Island War Memorial, essentially a memorial dedicated to Long Island residents who fought and died in World War I. It was such a powerful war that society still this day feel the impact of it. For example, it is really the reason why here in the United States we celebrate Veterans Day on November 11th. During World War I, armistice, the stop to fighting, took place on November 11th, 1918 at 11 o'clock in the morning, 11 a.m. So like I always tell my students, it's an easy day to remember because it's 11/11/11/1918. And since many countries honored this day. We also have the Astoria Pool and Bathhouse. It opened in 1936 and it is the biggest public pool in New York City. In fact, this is where Olympic swim team trials took place in 1936 and then later on in 52 and 1964 as well. Pretty cool. Currently, it is closed and it's going through major renovations worth millions of dollars and will reopen this year, 2024. But next to it, you have these really fun sprinklers. I mean, for kids, but technically there is no signs that it is just for kids, so even as adults on a hot summer day, you just want to run through those water sprays. And then finally we get to Hell's Gate Bridge, which is a train bridge. Construction began in 1912 and it opened in 1917. The name Hell's Gate comes from the Dutch, that of the Hell Channel, named so because of how dangerous it was to navigate here. Take a look at the currents here. It's very dangerous of how these currents move. In fact, this is the location where many ships in the past have sunken. For example, in 1780, the British HMS Frigate Hussar ship was sunk. HMS stood for Her Majesty's Ship. For years, there have been speculations that it sunk with treasure on board. Well, gold, worth millions of dollars. However, it was never found, despite many attempts over the years. And the fact that there was never any mention of gold on board the ship in records, or from what I remember reading, somewhere that at least anything that was on board was removed before sinking. But hey, it does not stop some from imagining that one day they will find that treasure. And when I left from home that day, I had a sign up in the sky. Look, X marks the spot. I was so excited that this is the day I'll be rich. But unfortunately, I only came home with some sunburn, no treasure. In addition, there was a famous incident here as well. In 1904, a steamboat called General Slocum caught fire, and from about 1,300 people on board, over 1,000 died. It was the deadliest disaster in New York City until the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001. It was a Sunday and people were going for a church picnic out into Long Island. The fire started and it supposedly burned very quickly, sinking the ship in about 20 minutes. The strong currents, the heavy clothing of the people, well, because it was a Sunday church event, so you dress your best, but that means bulky, heavy clothing. And also the lack of fire equipment and maintenance, shady lifeboats, all of these led to an incredible disaster. Here is a photo of a burial of the unidentified. A huge tragedy. Another interesting historical point is that in 1942, during World War II, the Hell's Gate Bridge was one of the targets for a sabotage operation against the United States by Nazi Germany. It was called Operation Pastorius. And this bridge was to be one of the structures targeted as it served as an important transportation system, moving important goods such as steel, for instance. The operation involved 8 German agents, however, it failed almost from the beginning. Nevertheless, it does show you the importance of this location. If you are feeling adventurous, you can continue walking past the park, and as you see here, there is a small path for bikes and walking, and you can walk all the way till the end. Well, of Queens on this side. Well, technically not all the way to the end, because as you see here, you will stumble upon electric generating facility, which is on the tip. And this is where I might as well mention that you see this on the street. For a long time, I always wondered, what the heck is this? You see this all over the city, like here, or here in Manhattan. But it's a natural gas vent pipe and pressure regulators. Or at least I hope so, because there is very little information about this, and so I hope I'm correct. And if you are really feeling adventurous, then well, walking is kind of too far for this, but you can pick up a bicycle in the park and travel past Astoria, and on the other side, get to LaGuardia Airport, where you can watch airplanes land and take off, which is always fun. I hope you enjoyed this location and I was able to somewhat catch your interest. And until next time, when I will share more interesting, I hope interesting, things on this channel. Stay safe.